I wish to call to order this work session of the Monroe County Board of Commissioners. It is December the 6th. Once again, Commissioner Thomas and I are present in the Nat U Hill Room, and Commissioner Jones is with us virtually. So we have removed one item from the work session, the one that Lori Kelly was going to present, and we have, I believe, Mr. Cockrell for the other three. Mr. Cockrell, would you prioritize these, taking the most important one first?
Okay, well, I guess they're all really important, but I think the most important in my mind is the People's Market, and I say that because we would like to make sure you're aware of what's going on, give you an opportunity to either vote today or acknowledge that if you want to wait until next week on your regular session, we'll probably run the claims through at the same time. So this is the ARPA funding. There was $48,000 allocated to the People's Market for their food boxes. And so what we're talking about is agreement that is somewhat similar to all the agreements that we did for Pantry 279 and things. We took out some of the reporting requirements, but we consider this to be a lost revenue project, which those aren't required. So if you want to go ahead and approve that today, that's great. If you want to wait till next week, just know that we intend to process the claim for payment of this next week as well.
Okay, so trying to find this again in my many items here. So we were sent some things, sorry, computer's messing up here a little bit. This is a memorandum of understanding with People's Market regarding food boxes. So I'd like to make a motion that we pass the memorandum of understanding with People's Market regarding food boxes. This fund name is SLURF, fund number, and it's just jumping around again. Sorry. Sorry, what? 8950, thank you, and amount of $48,000.
Second.
Thank you. Questions or comments from my colleagues?
Mm-mm.
Nope.
This is stuff that we actually talked about with in the joint ARPA meeting, and that we approved, I think, last week was. So we knew this was coming through. Certainly they got it back to us very quickly, Warren McAllister did. Is there any public comment on this item? Seeing none, I'll call for a vote on, or no, Mr. Cockrell, would you?
Commissioner Githens.
Yes.
Commissioner Thomas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jones.
Yes.
Motion is approved 3-0.
Thank you.
I guess in my mind, the next most important thing I have is the MPI solar. The county received one response to our request for production, our RFP for our solar project. That is MPI Solar was our sole one. Richard Kreider and I have both looked at it. We both think that they are a good, and if we go back in history, they are the initial people we had utilized when we started our solar at the Showers building a decade or so ago. So I was very impressed with their work then. We've done some other solar projects. We're impressed with their work. We'd like to go ahead and let you know that we're going to begin contract negotiation with MPI Solar, and hopefully I think our schedule is to have that to you guys by mid-January. So the goal is that we get that done in time so they can begin work and complete work the next season, which will be next summer. So that's just kind of an update. We're gonna move forward with contract negotiations with MPI Solar.
So there's nothing for us to vote on today?
No.
And we got hard copies left in our mailboxes, right?
I didn't know what to think.
Yeah, Commissioner Jones, you're gonna have to check your local mailbox here. It's in a thick packet.
Lovely.
So, and then the final item I have is the county and the city through the Metropolitan Planning Organization wish to have a 2050 plan, I think is what they call it, or a year, 25-year. They want it done by the end of 2025 to be a 25-year plan. The MPO came to the Redevelopment Commission early this year, and Lisa Ridge was at that meeting. I believe this is budgeted in the local road and streets, but it's for that work. We're going to split the cost with the city, each paying $100,000. There is a clause in there that says either party may ask for additional work, but the cost of that additional work is solely on whatever party asks for it. So this is we've teamed with them on a similar thing, I think a decade ago. I think the intent was to do that for 2020, but 2020 became what 2020 was, and with the COVID, so I think they did that in-house. This needs to have someone outside the organizations look at the plan. So I was planning on giving you that update today, and then bringing it to your regular session next week.
Yeah, I think what I would like next week is just some clarification and some detail for the public on what exactly they're looking at and studying what aspects. So I think that would be useful to have next week if we could. Thank you.
And I will note for the record, Lisa Ridge nodded her head. So
I will note for the record, she agreed willingly and happily to provide that info next week. Thank you.
Thank you.
Or at least reach out to.
Is this required by state or federal?
Yeah, I think we are required to have that for federal funds to have a transportation plan, especially since we're in the MPO area.
And this will only cover the MPO area part.
Correct.
It's
Just a little fringe.
It's not huge, yeah, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah. I guess from the bid I have, and this is not directed at anybody local, this is my frustration with the federal and state governments. Things are changing so much, I think it's almost silly to spend money to plan 25 years out. I mean, we've got places that are starting to put things under the road to charge electric vehicles.
Yep.
And so to talk about using today's technology for what we think is going to happen in 25 years just seems absurd to me. And so I just wanted to get on the record with that.
And patents have been released for flying cars, so now what?
Well, what happens if I'm lifted up by a drone to fly over to, see my mother? I mean, it's...
And I would just point out, we had someone who was willing to invest $150 million in personal property to make sure that the technology today is not the same as it is 25 years from now.
Exactly, thank you. Bringing us full circle, Mr. Cockrell, thank you.
Yeah, so I understand that it's required, but it does not seem like the appropriate use of taxpayer money. But yes, we understand that we have to do this to get additional money. So, yes. So we'll see that, it sounds like next week?
Next week, yes.
Perfect.
Okay. Is there anyone who has anything else for the work session? Seeing none, we will adjourn and we will be back next week.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here.